All right, man. Have you had any crazy spots, man, where either you got chased out of or just some crazy wild things happen?
Yeah, actually, I have a few, but
Yeah.
one of the ones that stands out a lot, actually two stand out pretty good,
Hmm.
is the one we're catching the bridge on the 605. I want to say the exits are like Whittier or
Hmm.
Burgundy, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
And I remember it was actually me, you, Kale, who else,
You got it.
and Gun. Yeah, it was four of us, and I remember I don't know, we may hit around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
I think
I
it's a
don't know,
little
a
late.
little
I
later
think,
than
yeah, I think
that.
it's a
Yeah,
little
and then
later.
I remember, you know, we, you know, we got to the spot, and I remember we were like trying to figure out where to paint,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you recall, I heard like some dudes like screaming or yelling like further down, and we kind of ignored it. We didn't care, They had some people just, whatever. So I remember just start painting and everything, and we're maybe into it like halfway, like maybe 20 minutes into it when I just start hearing boom, 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 boom. And, we dug. I don't know what we did. We all just kind of got against the bridge, we're just like stashes, right? Like,
Right.
not doing much. And I don't know if you went under that tube or whatever, that pipe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So just really quick, there's a pipe that runs right in front of it.
Yeah.
And then there's like a flat surface area that you can stand on. It's about maybe 4 feet wide, just to give the people
Yeah.
a good description. So when I heard the shots, there was between the bridge and the pipe, there was a little crack. I kind of just wedged myself in there. I was like, "Oh my God, please don't let me go out like this." But yeah, that's where I hit. I don't know where you guys hit because it was
I know.
just
I think I just, there's enough. I don't know, about 6, 8 inches, and you're kind of like
right.
against the wall like this.
So you went
Yeah, I was just like
pressed
this,
yourself
and,
against the
and
bridge.
I'm just hearing the shots, and I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? I was like, you're just there, like, like a sitting duck. You're
Yeah.
just waiting to get hit,
Yeah.
And I remember all the cans just falling onto the freeway. Pop, 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 pop. Like, fuck, when it felt like forever, right? And then once he stopped, whoever was shooting at us, or the neighborhood that was around there, I remember we're like, listen, we need to get the fuck out of here. And we're like trying to figure out, should we go that way? And I remember, like, I was hoping they'll come from the top, and I was like, fuck, let's not go that way. They're maybe waiting for us on the other side, or I think you said that.
Right.
And then I'm like, fuck it, I'll go first. Fuck it, someone needs to go, So I remember going in, and then I saw Ron almost there. I was like, hey, let's get the fuck out almost there. And I think we all went, and we ended up going across like the freeway and then getting picked up, right? So
And you know what's so crazy, man? Just to add to that, like now as adults, you think back, like that should have been like a wake up call, like, hey, just chill out for a little bit,
that's it. Stop.
or stop, right?
Stop. You know what I mean? Imagine,
Right.
imagine you tell that to your parents. If your son comes
Right.
up to you and tells you this, like you'll be
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? You know what I mean? So,
Exactly.
uh,
But nah, man, to us it was just like just another day at the office,
it's a thrill, dog. In the end,
right?
it's like another story we could talk about, like just right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a badass story, and I have multiple stories like that, man. There's so many stories out there that got chased, by the cops. Because like I said, I do have another pretty dope story,
Yeah.
and I might say Ron may one day Bass could come out here and say it a little different, but I remember we're
Yeah.
once again downtown LA on the where all the freeways merge on the 101. I guess that's the 110 freeway
Mhm.
by downtown LA, and I was getting the heaven, the on the backside of the heaven,
Backside.
and the daylight, like at 2 o'clock, dog. I'm like, fuck that, I'm gonna go up there and fucking rock it, dog. And I remember went up there, fucking, dude, traffic just honking at me. And I don't give a fuck. I'm like doing my fucking aim and shit. And next thing you know, fucking the cops, like anything else. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? You know what I mean? So I remember getting chased by the cops, dude. And
Yeah.
somehow, some way, we it was a thrill to see. Like, I know I was pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know I could get away from these
Yeah.
motherfuckers, you know what I mean? So yeah, I got chased and got away, you know what I mean? So that was pretty exciting, running in the middle of the daylight, getting your I think I got to finish it. I'll ask Base if I did get to finish it. I think I did. I got to do it. I mean, you got to see the the entire name, but I don't think I got completely filled. I had made
Okay.
90% of it
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
And so
And then because you had to take off.
yeah. So yeah, I got some of those spots and
Let me ask you something about that. I've personally never have climbed like a heaven. Are they pretty difficult to
and some of them you have
catch?
to. You know what? Some are, depending on the size. But
Yeah.
I was kind of like a monkey dog. Like anything that I could grab myself into, I was able to
Right.
pull myself up. You know what I mean? During those times, so
Okay.
to me it was just a thrill of how to, I'll figure out a way. Any type of pipe, anything, I was able to go up there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Getting in between actually two buildings in downtown and just like crawling up. That just like I said, I love that type of thrill. Right after that, I get shot at again. Me and Sector, we're getting a spot off Broadway and 30 something street. And the neighborhood there, I noticed it, I guess, and was waiting for me to get back on my car. And as I was getting back in my car, that guy came. He was hiding on the other side and started blasting. And I just remember running to the middle of the Broadway. It's like midnight. There's no cars or anything, and I'm screaming, yelling, And he just all around, And Sector thought I was dead. You know what I mean? And I remember I don't know what happened to him. He didn't know what happened to me. Cops got there. By then I had hid, and I came back out, and I was like talking to the cops, saying like, "Hey, like what happened?" They're like, "Get the fuck out of here." So I ran to my car, got in my car, drove to my pad, and I remember talking to Baze. It's like, "Hey, Baze, we need to go get Sector. We just got blasted, like we need to go back." And as we're coming back out, we saw Sector like at the front door. And I just remember he looked all pale and he was thinking like, "I saw you get killed," he's like touching me and stuff. And I was like, "No, I'm here. And he like couldn't believe it. He was just like, "Dude, no, I saw you get killed. I saw you get shot at. I saw you on the ground." I was like, "Yeah, dude, like for whatever reason, it didn't hit, So my car, the next day I saw it, it was all like shot up, you know what I mean? So it's like I said, for whatever reason, I just got very lucky that day and I got shot. So
Can I ask you some questions about that incident?
Yeah.
So you guys had finished bombing. You're going back to your car,
Correct.
to go home.
Yeah. So
Right.
So Sector finished. I told him I'm gonna like that. We both are not jumping, and the cops don't see us. So I'm like, I'm gonna jump over. We'll leave our backpacks here. I'll go grab my car, and then I'll pull up to the side, and then you jump over. So
Right.
that was the game plan. So as I was getting into my car, that's when the dude came out and started blasting. You know what I mean?
And he didn't say anything.
Nah, he just came, wrapped around, started just.
And it was just one guy.
One dude, yeah, and he just started shooting at my car, and then I don't know how I was able to turn around and run, and like I literally threw myself in the middle of the street. Broadway's a big street.
Yeah.
And I want to say I was like screaming and yelling. They already got hit, and he kept just pounding, and
that didn't deter him.
Until he was done, and then once he stopped, I got up, ran, and I went and hid in one of the houses. Within a few minutes, the cops, sirens, helicopter, everything,
Yeah.
And when I saw that was my opportunity to go back to my car, and because I'm still like, we're Sector, you know what I mean? Like I need to know where the cat's at and pick them up, can't leave them behind. So.
And how did that guy even get there? Was he in a car?
No, he was hiding behind
he was
hiding. He was just waiting
for you.
Waiting, dog. He was just waiting there, dog. And I was just like I said, I was blessed that day. You know what I mean? I was really blessed.
Damn. So I'm glad you didn't. Nothing happened to you, man. You're still here.
Yeah. So.
Because damn, that is pretty wild, bro.
Yeah. There's been a lot of fights in between all that. For different reasons and stuff, and but all that gets kind of like after a while, it's not a thrill no more of you going painting. It's more of a getting shot, getting killed. This is different times. It's not the times that we're living now. This is, gangsters hated taggers. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we have the green light. So. They were just looking for taggers, you know what I mean? And especially if you end up in jail, you had to like always prove yourself in there that you weren't a punk,
When you went to, have you, besides the time that you guys got raided in '94, have you ever been caught like writing?
Yeah. I went right back. Like maybe
With
7.
City?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 17. You know what? I think it was for racking more than anything else. I want
Yeah.
to say it was more racking, not tagging. Oh, I was tagging actually. Uh, we're but they had gotten me prior for like racking and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so I had already had they were building cases on me already. So me, Sector, and Chasm, rest in peace, were bombing the 10th freeway right there by Exposition, and we got caught up, dog. Helicopter came, they surrounded the building, and they grabbed us, dude. Like we couldn't go nowhere. There's nowhere to run, dude. It's like helicopter, everything. They're just pretty much like they're just waiting for you to come down, you know. So that's pretty much it. I remember being in court, Central Court, and I remember they're like giving us, like probation. I remember our sectors getting probation, and right, you're going home, and then Chasm's next, and I think they told him 5 days, but time served or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm going home, And then it comes to me, and they're like, and start saying all like felony this and like YA this. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like, hey, go ahead, remove your piercing, remove the shoelaces from your shoes. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? It was like, hey, yeah, you ain't going home, buddy.
Damn. So you ended up going to jail?
Yeah, and I did another like 7 months or something then to juvenile hall. Oh, I was like 16 going on 17.
Still a minor.
Yeah, I was still a minor, dude. Yeah, have starting like 13, whatever. I was just in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's where I got mostly all my education. That's why I graduated, because of juvenile hall. All my schooling I did in there, and I got that. Actually, those credits helped for me to graduate in high school. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody was like tripping out. How did this guy graduate? You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, half the time I was in juvenile hall, and you have to go to school, right? So I actually did good over there. So yeah. And that made what kept me out of getting into gangs or getting into other stuff, because for whatever reason, every time I got out of jail, like you hear people getting smoked, getting into gangs, doing this, doing that. It's like, God damn, every time it's like you think it's going to be the same when you come out, and it's a completely different world sometimes. The environment changed on you within that time, you're like tripping out, so.
So you, well, how many times did you get caught for writing with City as an adult?
Just a couple of times.
Yeah.
As an adult, I think we got more into like racking, and that's a whole different.
Yeah, right.
Different thing, As an adult, I think I may just got caught up once or something like that.
Oh, wow.
A lot. The thing about what people don't understand, like being in the graffiti scene or being in that environment, right? I talk about that environment. Is that like how do you get your paint?
Right.
We're not like some of those guys, that could buy the paint. So we had to rack it.
Yeah. Right.
So we had to put ourselves in different dangerous situations or break the law to get our paint. So we either go to Home Depot. I don't know if you remember Home Base, still paint there, or or go racking, cash in that money to go get paint, right, and then go do graffiti. Right. So our life was evolved around crime. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like so that was our environment. Like, let's go racking, let's go make money, let's go party, let's go painting and cycle. You know what I mean? So that was our environment at that time. So like, if we wanted to do graffiti, let's go racking. Like, we ain't buying that paint. You know what I mean? We're going to go to Home Depot and go rack some paint. We knew the combinations, or we'll break the locks, whatever. We figured it out. So different times. So that environment you would eventually end up in jail sooner or later.
It'll catch up to you.
Yep.
Yeah. One point or another, it will catch up to you. Are there any spots that you've caught over the years that you're proud of, like either the way they came out or based on the location? Any spots that come to mind?
So a lot of old cats know, like I used to like high spots too. I did some towers. I did the 710 tower. I did the 105 tower. I used to love towers, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Went multiple times to paint them. You know what I mean? I just, like I said, for the thrill, going up
Mm-hmm.
those. You know what I mean? Those are some of my, I guess, prouder moments. Gain the bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Or some, or the other ones. I think there's one that we did right there by Dodger Stadium. That was really good. On a bridge, Second Sash, and I think there's like a rest in peace Air there and Ozzy, I think, or something there during that era.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then one of the ones that I'm really proud of is some of those big CDPs that we did. That we spoke about by Dodger Stadium too. We did that two big ones. One where both are on the 5 freeway. One is on the riverbed, and one is it's in the wall of the 5 freeway. But like I said, at that time, it's like if you're not passing through there, there's no IG, there's nothing. You didn't take the picture,
Right.
or people didn't pass there. They don't know about those spots,
Right.
And that's,
Yeah.
So
The CDP in the riverbed. I remember when you guys were doing it, and if I recall, it took what, 4 days? Something
yeah,
like that?
I want to say it was about that time, about 3 days. We sketched it out.
Yeah.
We had to go multiple times because we were running out of paint. We didn't know it was going to take that much paint. And if you see the actual CDP, you'll see like there's lines. And it was funny because it wasn't meant to be that colorful, but because it was a bunch of wolf paint, you know what
Right.
I mean? That's how it came out. So if you see every line, that's a 5-gallon paint, you know what I mean? So it's telling you how much
Okay.
paint we're like using, you know what I mean? And then you could see how big. I think that was like the biggest thing at that time, biggest bomb or piece, whatever. We
Yeah,
got
right.
we got a little, creative there, and then you could see it by the metro link in the top. You could see how many little carts are up there. You know what I mean? How big that is. I wish I had the technology we have right now. We would have had a drone out there. Would have been. Yeah. So
Now,
yeah.
I got some more questions regarding that. Can you recall a crew or a person doing a bigger bomb than that
So
CDP?
it wasn't bigger. I don't think it was bigger, but Saber's the one that took the most attention around that era, around that time. He did a Saber by downtown, and he got a lot of support by the magazines around that time. It's like if you need the magazines and everything, and of course he was, he did something very, very nice. I give him credit for what he did. It was badass. And a lot of people have that image more than that CDP because we didn't. If you had, it was more of those connections at that time. So a lot of the, and it's kind of that's why I kind of like the new generation because you have IG and you could promote yourself a little better. But that time, if you didn't have those connections, if you weren't passing through the streets, you will not come out in a magazine. You know what I mean? So
Who did you guys do that CDP first?
you know what? I can't recall. I want to say Saber did it first.
Saber, okay.
Saber did it first, and then that gave us an idea. Like let's his had like what Saber's 5 letters or whatever, and MSK, and then you could see that ours was much bigger at the time. You know what I mean? But
and that's where you got inspiration from.
I guess to a certain degree, that could have been part of. You don't know at that time. You're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? It's been such a long time. I just remember, we're thinking of big stuff at that time, and we're made. Like people think that this roller stuff is new. No, we're doing it more on rivers. We weren't really doing it like on some of these buildings how people are doing it now. But we're like clean cut, taking our time. So.
And how big? Because in the picture, you can't really distinguish how big the actual piece is or bomb.
So right now, it was huge, dude. That thing was huge. I remember. You could go back. There's actually I want to say there's an STP right now on that and that STP, just the STP is just the seat. It's not even.
Oh, I see.
It's not even. And that's pretty big right there. But in reality, that had a big ass CDP, and then they were I guess fixing the LA River during that time, so they ended up doing like some artistic like Indian kind of stuff, and they ended up painting over the CDP. That was pretty much it. You know what I
Okay. And I'm just curious, how much would something like that cost to do?
mean? I don't know. Half of the time we may have sold everything. You know what I mean? At that
Like if
time,
you
you
were
know?
to purchase
Oh,
everything
and then today, I don't
yeah.
know, a few $1,000. You know what I mean? All
Couple
that paint that
G's.
we used. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we all came together as a crew, you know what I mean? And we all,
Yeah.
chipped in, and then, I want to say I went like 2 times. I didn't get to see the final product.
Yeah.
I did the outline, I did a lot of the sketching, I'm the one that did the actual sketch.
Those
for
are your letters.
my letters and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But everybody participated.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Everybody at that time put in work, So
Yeah.
I give everybody props for that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not just one man.
Yeah. How many people does it take, man, to pull something like that off?
Dude, it maybe takes about 5, 6 guys, and you always have to have a directional person. Like, hey, like when I recall doing that, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this line right here, a small little line, and then I need someone to come back and do a much bigger line. You know what I mean? And then someone start buffing. So you have different people doing different stuff, and then you go the next day, look at it, and it's like, hey, we need to get thicker, we need to do this, we need to do this. So as you're going, you're adding more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you're painting there, you can't even see the end of the sea. You know what I mean? So whatever you're doing, you can't see it until you back away from it. So
Yeah.
those were big letters. One day I'm gonna go back and see how big it was, because you could still, if you actually go out there, you could still see some of the black outlines there. You know what I mean? They weren't.
Oh, to this
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wanted to ask you about a spot that I remember that you caught. It was in downtown, I think, on the ledges, on the windows, I think.
No, it was
Mile?
actually it was
Mile?
we have a few of them in downtown LA during that time. There's a
I think
building
it was on Broadway.
on Broadway and I
Yeah.
don't know, 4th Street, 3rd Street. I don't know. Uh, we took it all the way to the top. Climbed all the way to the top, and we bombed it. And at that time, like, people cap over you, will go right back. You know what I mean? I think I went multiple times to that spot. A lot of spots, it was like, you start beefing it with certain guys or whatever, and it's like the way you do it is just keep going back until they give up. You know what I mean? So we did a lot of that. We're like, I said, like, the tower, went multiple times to the tower. You know what I mean?
Which tower was this? The 710?
On the 110. On the 110, I went like 3 times.
Okay.
On the
There's-
7th,
There's one on the 110?
I'm sorry, on the 105. On the
Oh,
105.
okay.
The
Yeah.
105, I want to hit it like 3 times. That bridge where we got shot at, I went a few times there too.
Yeah.
With multiple different cats.
Yeah.
On the 710, it was just we just hit it once. Got booked pretty fast,
Mhm.
and it was the homeboys from Ferno and Havoc.
Mhm.
One thing that we had back in the day, which I think I still see it, is like, it was different guys, like I2W. We had like different writers. Didn't mean that we're like yourself, Giver, Extra Large,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
We didn't need to be from the same crew. We're just all
Right.
homies, you know what I mean? And
right,
and,
that's
and
right.
that's all that matters, like, if we couldn't go with our own cats from the crew, we'll hit you up, or
Right.
hit up,
Right.
Havoc,
Right.
or Ferno or Frack, whoever we kind of got along during that time, because friendship changes, right? Like,
Yeah.
for a year I'll hang out a lot with you, and then I'm hanging out with someone else, and during that
Right.
time you just went painting with those guys. So that was pretty cool. It was like, you didn't need to be part of the crew. You're actually more part of a big family.
Yeah.
So it felt good going with different cats, painting
Mhm.
all the time.
Really quickly before we kind of go to a different question, I just want to go back to the bridge, or that spot on the Broadway that you
Mhm.
caught. That I always wondered, like, because when I'm looking at those spots, from the sidewalk, and the ledges don't seem to have much room for you to stand on. Like, how much room do you
I
actually
want-
have to stand?
Dude, honestly, it's like on that downtown one, you had enough.
Oh, okay.
On some of the freeway ones, like on those heavens, it's like on the actual bridges, on the that you're painting, those you have less, but you have to try to grab yourself up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always scary in the beginning, but once you like start painting, you kind of forget it. You just the only thing you have to remember: don't step back, or you're
Right.
done, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it was a thrill, but like, yeah, you're maybe about a couple of inches, sticking out, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Okay.
other than that, it's still dangerous.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
We weren't thinking of like what the new writers are doing. They're just getting those long extensions now, and they're just like painting them. You know what I mean? It's different,
Yeah.
but
I wish I would have thought of doing using extensions
yeah.
because we were all fighting for like the lower ground level.
Yeah.
spots.
You never want to
Right.
keep going. So
Damn.
it was like, man, why they? Well, I don't.
You know what? I would add that those telescoping ladders, they
Yeah.
weren't even invented.
Yeah, they weren't there.
back
Yeah,
in when we were painting, when we were,
Yeah.
or when I was painting. So, but yeah, the extensions were, and I just didn't think to use them.